Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Manchester United, Manchester City show. Mandem United podcast meets the Gyaldem City podcast. So please keep all your comments and questions, Manchester United or Manchester City related. Please, people, make sure you do so. Yan City will be here shortly as well. Yeah, never mind. But yes, people, make sure you bump up the likes first and foremost. Bump up the likes. Please share this across all the socials and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. A lot to discuss with both Manchester clubs. Manchester United losing 2-0 away at Spurs. Manchester City winning 1-0 at home to Newcastle United. But before we get into all that, Jan, what are you telling me? You good?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm good. Where's all the energy from before the show?
It's good.
Where's all the energy gone? You're a joker. You're a joker. But yeah, love to everyone who's tuned in. I'm sure the vast majority of the questions will be about Manchester United. But of course, if you got any Manchester City questions, feel free to get them in. I particularly didn't really want to do this show, but here we are, people. You know what I'm saying? The show must go on, so let's bump up the likes, share across all the socials, and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV, like I stated as well. Big up to James as well, says big up Flawless, big up Warrior J. TJ Warren, I see you, says pay the toll, smash the likes, people, as well. Let's see what else. Hey, Kaneki, relax, man. United ain't worth getting banned over. They're not really worth getting banned over, I'm telling you. To James, who says, I asked you this before the season started, bro. Where are the ball retaining defenders and press resistant midfielders to play with Onana? Now you see why I asked. I don't think but the thing is, we knew all this beforehand. This is nothing new. It's not like we signed defenders. We didn't sign no defenders. We haven't signed no defenders currently. And it's not like we signed Mason Mount and was like, oh, he's going to be that. I've said for the longest Mason Mount is a horrible signing. And I still stand on that. So I don't really
What,
understand
meet him
what you're
out?
talking about here, James. Yeah, he's awful. I said it though. It was you don't even
Yeah.
have to be a footballing genius. That's not I'm no footballing coach. I have no footballing coaching badges. And it's like, yeah, Mount's gonna be an awful signing. So in regards to it, we already knew this. Like this, so I don't understand, James. I'm lost in regards to that. To Mohammed, who says, Tollman, what's the difference of Ganacho and Dan James? I don't see it. This is a classic of being over the top, but we move. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see the difference between the two of them, I don't know what to tell you, Mohammed. I really don't. Man says, Bruno, disaster class, but casual fans still talking about one Rabona. The Rabona was fire. We done out here. Knew all this, though. Big up to Stephanie G as well, says big up Flawless and Yannick.
Oh,
Not
big
good
up.
enough, end of. That's it. But we'll start with you because you was at the game. Manchester City won, Newcastle nil. Thoughts overall? Happy about the performance? Not happy? Anyone who stood out? Anybody in particular who disappointed? And I also wanted to ask you as well. To my knowledge, you didn't make any changes. Did that surprise you?
Mm-mm. Uh, to be fair, we only had 13, maybe 14 players fit, I think. Um, I didn't see the bench. I didn't notice who was on the bench, but I'm assuming it was Calvin Phillips, Cole, maybe. Um, I'm not actually sure, really, because I think everyone else is kind of injured, aren't they? There's quite a few that are injured. But yeah, like I mean, I would have expected him to make changes, especially like towards the end, because if Newcastle had got like a late goal, we would have had like, they were kind of like, it was kind of end to end. I'd say the last sort of 10 minutes were quite like cagey. I probably would have brought on a sub to kind of, you know, stop their flow a little bit. But I mean, we handled it. I think it was a good professional performance from Man City because it was crying out for Bernardo Silva. If there was ever a game that was crying out for Bernardo Silva, it was that
With
one.
that space,
He's injured.
Yeah,
So that was unfortunate. But I thought Phil Foden was brilliant today. He was just everywhere, doing everything. Alvarez, decent. Kovacic really, really settled in well. He settled in really quickly. He looked really good. Akanji was great. Akanji was everywhere. He did make a few mistakes here and there, but he was pretty much everywhere. Rodri. He did get the ball away a few times, Rodri, in like vulnerable situations, but apart from that, he was fine. Grealish was okay. was doing
Yeah,
his
Grealish
job.
things.
Was a bit quieter than he sometimes is, but he was all right. Yeah, Edison made the saves that he needed to make, so he didn't do anything wrong. He's becoming a really reliable goalkeeper because, like, I did have my criticisms of Edison.
Yeah.
Because I felt like in the past seasons, not always, but sometimes he will make a mistake, like one mistake in the game, and that's the only chance they have, and it's a goal, and it's like, we'd be drawing games that it's like you only had one save to make. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, like, he really has stepped up. Like, he's making good saves, big saves in big games. So, yeah, he's doing really well at the moment. I can't really fault Edison at all.
Good.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent performance, to be honest. I don't think there was anyone that was bad. Gavardiol still, like, he looks like he still needs to settle in a little bit more. So you can tell he's new, like, to the squad. And Haaland, bit quiet. He did, he should have really scored, to be fair. But, yeah, I'd say it's not that he was bad. It's just that everyone else was good. So, yeah, I thought it was a good performance from us, to be honest.
First, big up Cam in the cut as well. He says, I'm starting a petition for Jan to be banned from all City games, shaking my head with 2
Do you know what?
I've
been bloody bitten to death by midges at City, so...
By what?
Little midges, like the little flies.
No, so why didn't you just say flies? What's midges?
So they're like pitch... They were like pitch side, and there's like this grid.
And midges?
Oh, they were flying in my head. And now I've got bites all over. That's why my face is itchy. I've been bitten.
Midges. Big up to Warrior J. Says, this is from Ten Hag's press conference. Midfield play well, it was good. We can always do better and leave spaces when you go for goal. Yeah, one thing I will say, Warrior J, in response to this, for the first hour, we was calm. We just missed our chances. But lo and behold, a side that scored 58 league goals last season and have added Mason Mount is not the greatest in front of goal. Like, why? This is, again, I don't understand the anger, the shock, the disappointment. Let me repeat this, and I've been talking about this all summer long. We scored 58 league goals in a 38-game Premier League season and added Mason Mount. And people are astonished that we don't look good in front of goal. Surprisingly, one of the two issues we do have is creating. We actually created enough today. Right? Rashford missed a good chance. Garnacho, if he has a better touch, probably scores. Bruno, the header, that's the one that sticks out. Anthony hit the post. The Casemiro header. Like, we actually created. The problem was scoring the chances. But again, like I've been saying all summer long, who is scoring our goals? And now we've gone and taken our best goal scorer, and he's playing out of position. And we wonder why we look so bad. Garnacho's not a starter. Anthony, we know, is not good enough. Bruno, we've watched for 3-4 years. Mount is average. Why are we shocked? Shaw has like 7 assists in like 7 years, and Wan-Bissaka's not good going forward. Right. Why are we shocked about? We knew all of these things beforehand. There's nothing unknown apart from Højlund. Højlund's the only one. Once he goes into the side, that's more of an unknown. And why I've been talking about why we can't challenge. We don't create enough. We don't score enough. But today it wasn't a lack of creativity. But we folded after Spurs scored their first. Because after Spurs scored their first goal, Anthony hit the post, and then we didn't offer anything for the rest of the game until Palestri came on and should have got a penalty when we was 2-0 down in the dying minutes. But other than that, so that's why it's not a shock. And to James, who says flawless, basically I'm saying it ain't going to work, bro. It's evident. We knew this beforehand. This is why
you should have had a penalty in the first half.
Yeah, it should have been a penalty. Yeah, 100%. We should have had 2 penalties. It was a pen, but I'm not one of those in terms of relying. If Bruno scores a free header from 6 yards out, we're having a different conversation.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I don't put it on.
I think there are games where it's like you should have had a penalty, or you shouldn't have had this, or you shouldn't have had that. But at the end of the day, like,
you have 90 minutes.
You have 90 minutes to correct that.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be in a situation where you can say, yeah, we should have had a pen, but it doesn't matter. Like, there's games where we should have had pens, but no one really talks about it. Because if we win, then no one cares.
No one cares.
You know what I mean?
Like today, if you lot should have had a Stonewall penalty, but you win the game, everybody goes. Like, and that's where it is. Yes, I believe personally we should have had 2 penalties, but then again, I'm not on the officials to do their job. I'm on
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes to score
Do
a
his
header from 6 yards out. I'm on Garnacho to take a
job.
better touch. I'm on Rashford to dink that more. Casemiro, the header's really tough. Anthony hit the post. That's unlucky. But the point I'm making is we knew all of these things, people. Where's everybody in the chat who has been telling me since May? It's now towards the end of August who we can challenge. Wait for Mason Mount. He's gonna be a good signing. Why can't we we can go and compete with City. We can win the league. We can do the
Yeah, I was
goals
just
and
speaking to my
creativity.
dad about that before. Like, I
Well,
think
chat about it. Chat about it. Floor's yours.
because I keep hearing like City aren't as good as they were last season, right? Okay, fair enough. We don't actually know yet because we've only played 3 games, 4 games if you count the Community Shield. So we don't actually know that. Yes, we've lost Gundogan. Gundogan is a great player for us. We know that. I don't think Kovacic was really a replacement as such. I think we were going to get Kovacic in as well as Gundogan, but then Gundogan left. But he's doing all right. Like he's come in. He looks good. He just needs to probably shoot more, which he did. To be fair to him today, he did try to have 2 shots and they both got blocked. So yeah, maybe if he shoots a little bit more, he can be a bit more like a Gundogan for us. But then we've lost. We never actually replaced Sterling. To be fair, Sterling went and we didn't replace him, and then obviously now we've lost Mahrez. We don't really have like wingers and stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do need people in, but I don't think. I think we will get at least one person in. I think you starting the season without
I think you sign a
anyone.
winger. I agree with that.
I think we'll probably Doku. I would say will probably come if we get it over the line. But yeah, I think we'll get someone, and then Cole Palmer will probably stay. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. But I think it's not really because a lot of people are saying they'll be weaker than last season, but actually, Man City last season weren't great. Like halfway through the season, people were saying Man City are not the same team anymore. Remember, like people we couldn't win. We didn't win like 3 games in a row, like for ages. Like there was periods last season where we weren't good at all, and then we had good periods where we were great. I think we started a bit slow, then we were really good for a bit, then we were completely crap, and then we like got a bit better, and then as the season went on and on, we got better and better, and then at the end of the season we finished really strongly. But we weren't great last season, so I think we're more likely to kind of go back to being better than we are to getting worse. I'm not saying we're going to go and like win the league by 10 points or anything daft like that. I think it will be close again, but yeah.
Side note before you carry on, who do you think could be the closest? Who do you think is the closest team to you? Lot?
Now this is an interesting thing because I think it depends on a few different things. I think if Liverpool get a DM, Liverpool could potentially win.
Hey! Don't do that. Don't disrespect that new signing. They signed Wataru Endo. You just disrespected him.
Well, to be fair, I didn't even know. I've not even.
You just disrespected man. You know?
Well, him anyway. But yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be the difference. To be fair,
he played today. But go on, carry on. Yeah, he played today. Yo, Jan just being disrespectful. Hey, Liverpool fans don't have that. That's bad disrespectful, you know.
I'll be backing you. I've not been keeping up with anything. Like when that guy scored for Chelsea the other day, I was like, who is he?
Don't do that. Don't do that because if Liverpool signed Chouameni or something, you would know about that. So don't be disingenuous. Yeah. We see you joker. Go on, carry on.
But anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I think I said this a few months ago, I think, or a few weeks ago. I was saying that I think Liverpool and Chelsea both can't have a season like last season, so they are naturally going to improve. I think most of the top 6 are going to improve, to be honest, but with them two in particular, I see them doing better than people think. Chelsea don't have any Europe. I don't think Chelsea are the sort of team that need to go. I know they've spent money, but in their heads, I don't think they need to go and win an FA Cup. They need to go and win a Carabao Cup. They will probably just focus on getting top 4. And I think if they do that, they will get it. So I think Chelsea might surprise people. Liverpool, I think it just depends on how they work with their squad, because obviously what they wanted to do at the start of the window and what they actually ended up with is not quite aligned. So we'll see what happens with them. But we know with Liverpool, they can, go on consistent runs like us. And not every week are they playing a Man City or a Newcastle. Like they're playing teams that they can beat. So yeah, I think Liverpool will do better than people think. I'm not sure where they're going to finish yet, but I think second place. I actually am tempted to put a bet on Chelsea finishing second, because I feel like no one would ever expect it. But it is possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen. You would expect it to be Arsenal based on how it's been going. But I think Arsenal, like City, are going to have to spread themselves across 4 competitions, because Arsenal are not going to want to go trophyless again. So they're going to want to win at least something if they don't win the league. So I think they're going to go for all 4, like Man City. Yeah. We always go for all 4. United will probably go for... I don't know.
Yeah, don't include us.
You in the Champions League?
Yeah, we're in.
You're not winning.
We're in the Champions League. You take it. I will kick you off here. Carry on.
Take that one out.
Hey,
I don't think you'll win the league either. To be fair,
lo and behold, Manchester United won't win the Champions League or Premier League. Next, you're gonna tell me what is what.
I think you'd be punching a bit to try, but you never know.
Next thing you're gonna tell me, yeah, sure. Next thing you're gonna tell me that Manchester City play at the Etihad. Crazy. I'm saying. What's next? They serve Big Macs at McDonald's. Wow.
Yeah, but I think so. I think United will try and get top 4 again and try and win a trophy. But the problem is, because you won a trophy and got top 4 last season, you probably want to improve. So that whatever that looks like.
Yeah, 1 and 2 different things is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Cam come in the chat. He wants Selena Gomez. You know what I'm saying? Once, and what happens is a completely different conversation. But go on, carry on.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna actually be interesting, because there's a lot of teams that think they're getting top 4. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't think Spurs will do it. I do actually think their manager will do okay though. I think they needed a manager like that, where the pressure is not going to be on him as much.
Yeah.
And I think he can, from what he's done in the past with the teams that he's had, he can work with players who aren't maybe the best. So I actually think getting rid of Harry Kane kind of takes a bit of pressure off them as well, in a way. So yeah, I think Spurs, I don't think Spurs will get top 4, but I think in the long term, he might be a good manager for them.
Cool. So second, you're looking at Liverpool and Chelsea as the 2. That's what you're saying. Right,
I'd say Arsenal at the moment. Arsenal.
Oh, you're saying Arsenal? Okay, all right.
I think Arsenal, but the thing is, that's just based off how things are right now. Okay. But I wouldn't be really, really shocked if it was Liverpool or Chelsea. I'd be more shocked if it was United or Spurs.
What a dick, yo. Hey, large of everyone that's tapped in.
What happened to being nice to me?
I am nice, but you just take unnecessary shots. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a shot at you, it's a shot at your club.
Yeah, so I take it. I'm in the car. You know what I'm saying? If you shoot at the car, the straight bullet may hit me. But yeah, love to everyone that's locked in. Over 70 people in the building right now. Right, actually, decent like check. 39, but let's bump that up. Let's go up to 60 likes, people. Check 1 2 1 2.
I'll kick Flawless out.
Let me go to 6. Yeah, okay. Let's go to 60 likes, people. So let's do that. And subscribe if you are indeed new to the channel as well. How many subscribers are we actually on? All right, we're at 7,724. 6 more, man. We're aiming to get to 7,730. I know there's at least 6 of you lot who haven't subscribed. Continue to get your questions in as well. Just please keep it Manchester United or Manchester City related. And of course, if you super chat, we'll get straight to your comment or question as well. Let's see what else you lot are saying. To Haldane, who says this: as bad as Mount is, he wasn't our worst player today. Our attackers were awful, and just like last season, we don't take our chances and then lose the game. Mount is bad, so he deserves criticism. Who was our worst player is just a race to the bottom, because they were all bad. Minus the defensive players. Minus Wan-Bissaka, Varane, obviously Onana. is a race to the bottom legit. In regards to our attackers were awful just like last season, people keep doing this. For every game there is today where Manchester United creating chances and missed, there's a Wolves game where we created nothing. But people just overlook that. There was more games like how we played against Wolves, and I'm talking people from an attacking sense, than the games like today. There's this myth in the Manchester United fan base that last season we had all these games where we created so many big chances and missed so many chances. That was not the case. There was the occasional game, yes, where Martial, Weghorst, Rashford, Anthony, whoever would miss chances. But we had more games like Wolves. Let's not act like creativity, like we have loads of creative players. We don't. And I've been saying this again all summer long in regards to this. We don't. If you want to say Bruno, cool, we'll add Rashford in the mix. That's it. There are only 2 creative players like that. We don't have creative outlets. Garnacho off the bench. All right, calm. He's another one. That's 3 in a squad of 30. Now that tells you where we're at and why I've been saying about creativity and our goals. And to Eric as well, who says people were saying Fred over Mount, neither of them good enough. And that's what I didn't like. When we was
rate Fred, I thought Fred was better.
Fred had his uses. He's not good enough. But what I didn't like, to Eric, to your point, is when we was linked with Mount, it was, he's better than Fred. Like, that's the bar. Fred's not good enough. So to get better than Fred, and see how Jan's laughing and she knows I'm telling the truth. Like, this is just the facts to say, he's better than Fred, doesn't mean he's good enough, because Fred's not of the level. Like, this is what I didn't understand. If you have a player who's a 5 out of 10 and you go get someone who's a 6, yes, it's better. But it's not for where you're trying to go to. And now people act surprised. Because Fred actually adds more balance to our midfield than a Mount. Because Mount and Bruno were the same in terms of profile. They want to do the same thing. Warrior J says, Jan, are you concerned about the depth in the squad? I saw mostly youth players on your bench. It's a good question.
Yeah, I think most City fans are having a meltdown at the moment, to be honest. We're a few injuries away from a bit of a tragedy in it. We don't have a lot of midfielders, which is crazy because we're always the team that have loads of midfielders. So yeah, we definitely need to get some signings in, to be honest. I think Paqueta, they wanted to get him, but obviously this stuff's come out now about him. I don't think City will take the risk, because if he does get found guilty and he gets banned for years, you don't want to bring. It's different if he's already at your team and you can kind of see what happens, but you wouldn't bring someone in who may then get, a fine or a ban or whatever. So I don't think City will pursue him anymore unless it completely gets wiped, which I don't see it happening. Doku is the one that I think we'll probably end up with. But with City, it's weird because sometimes you just don't hit anything and then they come out of the blue. Like a Kanji, Ruben Diaz. There's been quite a few signings that we've got. It's like, I didn't even see us linked to Ruben Diaz. It was just like he just yeah. Same with a Kanji. We weren't linked to a Kanji. He just turned up. So we might do something like that, but we'll just have to see. But we don't have enough. Currently, we don't have enough. We don't have wingers.
Yeah, I noticed that. Because I was thinking that's what like today is, like someone to be like a direct winger. Like for a Grealish, for example, and then you go and get one. Yeah. Hey, big up for the super chats. I'll get to them as well. Big up to Derbs. Good to see you in the chat. Says, hi, Flawless. How long are we going to suffer with Luke Shaw's inconsistencies? We've been suffering. Like, it's at the point where we know Luke Shaw's not good enough. As a centre-back, fine. As a backup to Martinez last season, no issues when he plays centre-back. When he plays left-back, you see all his deficiencies. Not good enough. Because from a defensive standpoint, you don't really have issues, even though he was partly at fault with the first goal, and he gives you nothing going forward. He can't do it. We was discussing Reece James injuries, and I got to pre-pause this. But the way them man are built, they're not built like fullbacks. That's why I did the pre-pause, people. Look at their body shapes. Look at their body types. When you look at fullbacks, they're slim. You know what I'm saying? They're built like me. I was like, look at the way them man are built like centre-backs. Look at Reece James. I was saying, look at Luke Shaw. And then when you look at all the best fullbacks in the world, they all are of similar shape. Like a Trent, a Robertson, a Cancelo, Kyle Walker to an extent, a Chilwell, Alphonso Davies, Theo Hernandez, Hakimi, the list goes on. Like, you're not supposed to be, pre-pause again, carrying all that weight up and down the pitch. You're not supposed to be going byline to byline like that. So that's what it is with Luke Shaw. You don't give you enough going forward. But as a centre back, cool. So yeah, in regards to his thing, this is why I want a new left back. I've said this. It should be Malacia and a new left back competing for that spot. And Luke Shaw should be back up to Martinez. But as long as we play Luke Shaw as a left back, we're going to see his inconsistencies. Big up to, I just call you Basu. Big up for the super chat. Says, Jan, trust me, you don't want Culver shooting regularly. I think that's a Chelsea fan, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Thoughts on this?
he's got a powerful shot on him. Obviously, I didn't watch him week in, week out for Chelsea or anything like that. But he's settled in quite quickly, to be honest. Because sometimes it takes people a while. Like, it took Rodri a long time at City to get settled in.
Yeah, he's gonna. Because I knew he'd fit what you lot doing.
Yeah. I knew
it.
He's one of them where when we got linked to him, I was like, yeah, I'd take him.
Makes sense.
Because everyone was like, why would you take him? You know, I was thinking, yeah, I'd take someone like that.
Of course, technical baller.
No, with Pep as well.
A technical baller, someone who's technically sound in Pep system. And also what he offers in your midfield is someone who what you didn't have in the commentator mentioned, this is a ball carrier. Like Bernardo Silva does it to an extent, but like he's one of the best at it in terms of being able to spin and carry the ball and dribble. And I seen that today. So yeah, no, I hear you. But Basu, big up for the super chat. And also big up to Derbs for this second super chat. Much appreciated to us. Also, did you see a difference when Palestri and Dalot were on the right side compared to Anthony and Wan-Bissaka? With Dalot over Wan-Bissaka, yeah, because Dalot's just better going forward. Even though I don't have issues with Wan-Bissaka. We know his deficiencies. I've said this before. Wan-Bissaka should be used as a defensive specialist. For example, we're playing City away. You play Wan-Bissaka. We're playing Liverpool away. We're in the Champions League away at PSG, away at Real Madrid. That's when you play Wan-Bissaka. But week in, week out, when you're going away to Spurs, at home to Wolves, we're at home to Forest, that's when the other right back should be playing, to me. And as in regards to Palestri, he's just direct. He's Garnacho. That's why we're seeing that if Palestri started, he would look like Garnacho. Because all Palestri's best attributes are against tired defenders when the game's stretched. And we've seen it, he should have won a penalty today. And every time I see him, I like him. Because, he's just basic, he's just direct. He'll get the ball and he'll run at defenders. And because he's quick, no defender wants to be ran at. No matter how good you are. No defender wants to be ran at. No fullback, no centre-back wants to be backpedaling or facing their own goal. They want everything in front of them. But so, yeah, obviously we've seen the difference. But big up. And Ed, I'm with you on this. I don't want to hear excuses for anyone. I'm done with hearing XYZ was better/worse. I'm tired of that. There's an excuse to not criticize players who were poor. Like Mount deserves all the criticism he's gonna get.
That.
Yeah, I hate that. Don't get me wrong. Mount wasn't the only one. Yeah. Like Mount's not the only one. Yeah, but they was all bad. Same way if someone criticized Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford, the manager. You can proportion blame where you want. That's cool. But I'm not hearing, it shouldn't be, no, such and such. No, if you play bad, that's on you. Play well. That's why nobody ain't talking about Onana, because he played well. That's why no one ain't talking about Varane, because Varane did his job. If you do your job, most people shut up. That's just how it works. But yeah, large up to everyone who's locked in still as well. Let's see what else. Mitesh Flawless was right on Mount. Hey, game week 2. Mitesh. And the Mount Defense League disappeared after game week 1.
When Mount got signed.
Did you notice this thing? Do you see this? What we're called? These live streams are like go out live and then people can watch them back. You know that? So they know my thoughts on this. So you can try to lie all you want, but people know my thoughts on this. I said it was a horrible signing when we got linked with him. So this is terrible. I can't still. Yeah. Fuckeries. You know what I'm saying? And that absolute it's terrible. Hey, Victor, you can shut up in the chat, but large up my guy Victor as well. Let's see. What else you lot saying as well? Troy says, this season might be troublesome for us. I didn't want Mount. I would rather spend 100 million on Caicedo. Yeah, Troy, that would be better. Imagine you put Caicedo in our midfield. And it's Casemiro, Caicedo, Bruno. How much better of a unit that is. And how much that improves us as a team. As much as I don't rate Bruno, I'm not a fan. It's just balance, and it's so much more. That's why I was so annoyed about the Mount signing, because we had a big missed opportunity to step up our midfield. Now we have our midfield's not even top 7. Our midfield's awful. I think it's barely top 10. And that's just because of my lack of knowledge of other midfields. But forget the big 5. the rest of the City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs. Their midfields are better than ours. Newcastle's is better than ours. That puts us 7. Brighton's midfield probably better than ours. And there's probably others as well. I just, like I said, I don't know their midfields like that. But it's really not the way forward. To Ban Bandit says, Anthony is the new scapegoat. I get that he was shit, but where's all the smoke for Garnacho and Rashford? Depends who you're talking to, Ban Bandit, because I've seen Garnacho and Rashford both holding smoke. I've seen them both be heavily criticised over these past 2 games. So it depends who you're talking to. But I wouldn't say Anthony's the scapegoat. They've all 3 of them players have been bad. The only one I have not sympathy for, but more understanding is Rashford, because he's not a striker. That's on the manager. Why are we playing him at centre forward to play Garnacho left? Just play Rashford left and play somebody else through the middle. Whether that's Sancho, whether that's Martial, whether that's somebody else in the false 9, cool. But put Rashford where he scored 30 goals last season. That's on the manager. That's him. But I don't know what to tell you, innit? I don't know what go on. Fucking Mason Mount, it's crazy. Let me see what else you lot are saying. Eagle MMA says Mason Mount has taken his team backwards. Him being an upgrade on Eriksen is a myth. He unbalances everything. Hey, Eagle MMA, remember them conversations? You was here. Remember them conversations? And people was telling me, nah, I was wrong. And Mount's an upgrade on Eriksen because he can run around. See, and you don't be about. These are conversations I legit having over the summer. People telling me, bareface, oh, Mount's an upgrade because he can run. And I'm saying, just because, all right, cool. But what about everything else? And I wanted a major upgrade on Eriksen. But it wasn't Mason Mount. It's an awful signing. And yes, I did Warrior J. Flawless did mention this in every stream. Who is scoring the goals? And in Monday's game against Wolves, United did score, but that was a defender. I've been talking about this. I'm tired. I'm sick of repeating the same shit that I've been saying since May. I've been saying this shit since the start of May. It's now it's the 20th of August now. Who's scoring our goals? We scored 58 goals last season. I keep saying this. And I did Mason Mount, who got 3. But hey, it is what it is. But back to you lot. Back to Manchester City. You lot winning the league comfy? This is going to be good. What are you telling me, Jan? You going 4-peat?
Hopefully. I would expect us to win the league. We are the best team.
Okay,
I don't think it's going to be like a landslide or anything like that. I think it'll probably be quite close. It just depends because, like, I know City want to like defend everything, but it's it's not that simple when you're going for all competitions. Like last season, we saw in the league how it kind of affected us, and we weren't as good in the league as we have been. Obviously, it worked out in the end. But it could have gone badly. We could have ended up not winning the league, not winning the Champions League. So, yeah, it's just one of them. I think it depends what we focus more on. I do want to 4-peat because it's something that if we don't 4-peat, then we'd have to win it another 3 times so they'll have a chance of 4-peat. And so it's a lot of stuff. Whereas, like, as much as I'd love to win the Champions League back-to-back, if it was a choice between the two, I'd pick the league because the Champions League, you only have to win it once to then have a chance to win it back to back. Do you know what I mean? That makes sense. So, sounds crazy, but it's just based off, what would be more likely to happen again. It would probably be to have a chance
how confident are you not doing the treble again?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
What's stopping you? You're the best team in Europe.
We are, but I don't know. I just think it's so hard to do. Like, the reason why I think we did it is because because we weren't at full pelt in the league, because we weren't at our best in the league, I think it kind of allowed us to take a bit of a, breather throughout the season. So then when it came to the last bit, we were like, right, okay, we can go full throttle now. But I don't think we're going to have the chance to do that again this season because I think if we are like that in the league, we won't win the league. So we need to be more. I don't know. I just think, and with the team to beat now, everyone's going to want to beat us. So
That's true.
the only thing that I think will be interesting is to see how we play in the Champions League, because we've had, since we pretty much joined, we've had so much pressure on us to win it. So it'll be interesting to see how we play now that the pressure's not on us. Because I did see someone the other day that says which manager's the most under pressure, and someone had Pep at the top, and I'm thinking, actually, I think a lot of the pressure's come off Pep now.
Thanks.
He's got pressure to win it again. Like, he's always going to have, you know, if we don't win anything this season, it'll be, it was a fluke, you know, like that sort of thing. So he is under pressure, but at the same time, I think a lot of it's been lifted now, because it's like the only thing they can really get onto Pep for this season is not winning the World Cup, if he doesn't win that, and also if he doesn't retain the league. I think with the Champions League, you can't really be getting onto a manager for not retaining the Champions League. I just think it's
We'll talk about the actual game, because context matters in regards to if it's a final or over 2 legs. But it's not going to be like, oh my God, sack him, he's a fraud because you didn't win the champs, because you got over the hump. You got over the hump. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Hey, big on my young G Nero in the chat as well. Ajum Nero, over 80 people in the building right now. Continue to bump up the likes. Continue to share this across all the socials as well. Let's get over 100 people in there. We're at 59 likes. So one short of 60. Let's get up to 70 likes though. Let's get up to 70 likes and hit that subscribe button, because I know everybody watching live right now, and to the people watching this back after the live, hit that subscribe button. It's road to 8,000 subscribers. To Neil, who says, Basu, I call you, actually says, how would you revive an underconfident Mount with that midfield setup? We know he can play much better than this at least. We can't revive him because he's just not good. You're reviving the dead. And when I say he's not good, people, I'm saying he's not good enough for where Manchester United want to go. That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. He's not good enough for where we want to go, which if you're going to challenge for Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, the answer to that is not Mason Mount. Well, that's not just on him, don't get mistaken. That's the vast majority of this team. Said this before, I'll say it again. I'll push the vast majority of this team off a cliff. Hypothetically, people, not literally, because they're just not good enough. There's like 4 players I'd keep. I've said this before, and the rest all sold or squad players. And I wouldn't fight to keep any of the squad players if we got good offers. I'd move the vast majority. I'd do the Chelsea thing in terms of just shift on so many players and bring in a whole heap of new players. Because these men are not good enough, but big up to you. Big up Jacob as well. You actually messaged me about this earlier, but he says, Flawless, my bro, I hope you're blessed today. You were right all along. That's all he messaged me. Jacob just said you were right. And I was like, what about the attack? And he said, where the goals are coming from. 2 games, people. And all of a sudden, people go, where the goals at? We've been playing like this. Yes, Warrior J. I was hoping Mount proves me wrong, but the 2 games, I hope he does. I hope against Forest he gets a hat-trick. I hope so. I hope he balls out and creates and scores, but I don't think he's created a single chance. Or I don't think he's created a single chance in the 2 games he's played. All right. Hey, Nero, big up, man. He says, large up, flawless every time. Big up, Yan, as well. I like the fact the fan base is on Mount heavily because there's no room for sentiment. No, I hear you. I think you're saying, no room for settling. All right, that's fair. And to David as well. And this is, again, whataboutism. Mount wasn't the reason we lost. No one said he was the reason we lost. He was just a part of the team that played poorly. I'm tired of this. Somebody said earlier, it was Ed. I'm tired of X, Y, and Z was worse than X was worse than Y and Z. No, he was bad. Bruno and Rashford did miss sitters, but Mount also offered nothing. He completed 14 passes in 84 minutes. What were you doing? Bear in mind what I just said, people. He completed 1-4 in 84 minutes. What were you doing out there as a central midfielder? You had the least touches as a central midfielder. Hiding. Again, new age Scott McTominay, but hey, the whole different conversation. Then it says, Flawless, how many more signings do you guys need? I know this won't happen. 4 at minimum. Don't rate your squad at all. Agreed, I've said this. We need another striker and 2 central midfielders. I've said this. That's what this side needs to compete. But hopefully we do it. Ma had 28 touches in 84 minutes. All right. Okay. I don't even know what to say. You know what I'm saying? I even know what to say. Ed, this is a good question. It says, Jan, if Foden keeps his form/fitness, you think it's time to transition him fully into the Kevin De Bruyne role? Because realistically, it's looking like Kevin De Bruyne gonna only give a half season from now on.
Yeah, Foden has always said that he wants to play in the centre. He always has said that. But I think with Pep, because the players we had, you're not gonna swap them out for Foden. But to be fair, he looks like he's getting better and better, to be honest. I know he has the odd game where he's not at his best, but yeah, I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Pep will keep him there when De Bruyne is back. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether he'll like push him out on the wing again or something like that, or maybe even drop him. But potentially, I think he's been doing all right in midfield.
He has been talk about him today. Because I thought today he was
Oh,
phenomenal.
he's really, really good today.
He's
He's just
phenomenal.
everywhere. He was like doing defensive work, obviously he was attacking, creating chances, creating space for Haaland. Just, yeah, he was everywhere. He really was. I mean, he got man of the match for a reason.
Yeah, deserve man
But
of the match
yeah,
as well.
he's really, really, really good today. I think the only person that came close to him would be Kovacic, because he was good. And I thought Akanji was good as well, to be fair, even though he did make a mistake here and there, but it was good.
Yeah, oh, that's fair. And Warrior J says, Jan, I have a question for you. Who's your best back four in Manchester City, since most of the
Ooh.
defenders in City are just good? It's a good question.
To be fair, I think Gvardiol will be great. But right now, obviously, he's new, so he's not really settled in yet. So I'll discount him. It's an interesting one because Stones and Diaz have this like bromance thing going on, and them two just work really well together. I don't know what it is, but they just work well together. So probably them two. And then, I mean, when he's at his best, you have to have Kyle Walker as right back when he's at his best. And then left back, I'll probably go with Aki. But I mean, Akanji's been solid. We've got good options. Laporte, bless him. I think Laporte's a good player, but it's just something between Pep didn't really favour him. I know he's one of them where he makes big mistakes in big games, Laporte. I think his mistakes are kind of more remembered than others, because obviously Diaz makes mistakes, Stones makes mistakes. But I just think with his, they're more memorable. He tends to do it in like these big Champions League games, and it just kind of, he doesn't get forgiven for it. So yeah, I feel a bit sorry for him. He's gone to Al Hilal, I think, now. Or he's going there. Which is a shame, because I think he'd start for most teams in the league, really. So he probably should have been somewhere less far, basically, than going to Saudi. But let him go and get his money. But yeah, I feel a bit for Laporte, because Laporte has like,
he's a very good centre back.
The season before last, he was injured and he played on and won us the league. Like, because we had defenders out, and he like really struggled on to win us the league. So yeah, he's played his part. It's a bit of a shame that he's not getting like a send off or anything. But yeah, I definitely have to go with John Stones and Diaz.
Right. So John Stones, Diaz, Walker, and who do you have at left back?
I'd probably say Aki. I think Aki's
You play Aki
really
there.
good.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
What option to have? Nah, and I hear you. Give it to Mikey. You says if a defensive midfield and a forward don't come in this season, is lost. No way the squad can play 4 competitions with what's available. Agreed. We have to go into the market. We're still open. It's still, I think, like 2 weeks. I think it's September the 1st or the 2nd. The window closes. So we gotta go into that transfer market. 110%. We have to. Let's see what else. Big up, Star Lord. Good to see you in the chat. Says you probably already talked about them, my guys. Talked about them. My guys, Bruno and Anthony was garbage after 30 minutes. I know if you're saying, Star Lord, that Bruno was bad, he was bad. Then we had Rashford and Garnacho had all stinkers. I'm not concerned. I will be after 6 games, all comps. Now I hear that in regards to not being complete. Like he can still be switched around. That's how I'm looking at it. He can still, all is not lost. It's bleak, yes, but it's just a game we've lost. But he can't go against Forest and play that same lineup because I said that about this game against Spurs. So there's no way after that performance he goes and plays the same team. And I said if he plays the same team, we better win, or that's on the manager because we've seen it. How much more do you need to see there isn't even anything to work with where you say, oh, there's positives? Nah, there was no positives. But we all know Bruno or Mount wasn't going to work. Anthony, Garnacho, Rashford as a front three is not it either. But we move. We move. I know you kind of answered this, but you can answer the latter part. Just be back in the set. But question to Jan, who do you see challenging in the Champions League and Premier League? I think you'll run away with the Champions League and the Premier League, maybe Arsenal or Liverpool. Most of the champs? That's a good question. Back in one set, though.
The Champions League, I'm not sure because it just depends. Because it's knockout football, all you have to have is one dodgy 5 minutes and you can be out. So it's never really guaranteed. Obviously, Real Madrid and Real Madrid, they're always up there. Bayern Munich, they're going to want to win it, especially now they've got Kane. They spent quite a lot of money for them on Kane, so they're going to want to win it. Just have to see. I'd love to win it back to back. I really would, but yeah, I'm not sure. The only thing that makes me think that they're probably going to want to go for it as well is obviously to retain it, and also because it's at Wembley, so it's actually home for once. So should potentially give us maybe an advantage if we're playing someone that's not English. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I think the Champions League is so unpredictable. I don't think you can be favourites for it, but we were favourites for it for years. And actually, last season, the first time we weren't favourites, we actually went and won it. I think Bayern Munich were favourites last season. So that's just the Champions League for you. It's so unpredictable. But yeah, let's see.
Ed says, Jan, do you think Pep brings in a new fullback once Cancelo deal goes through?
No.
So what do you think happens with Cancelo then? What do you think happens with him?
He's apparently going to go to Barcelona on some weird loan thing with no option to buy. It's like, what is the deal? What do we get from that? Might as well just keep him there.
What, keeping an unhappy player on your books?
Well, no. He's a danger to the changing room, man. But yeah, no, I think it'll just go. He'll go, and then Pep will have Rico Lewis or Kyle Walker or a Kanji Oraki because they just play everywhere. Yeah, Sergio Gomez has decided that he likes to play higher up the pitch, which is really strange because on the under-21 World Cup or whatever, he was scoring all the goals for Spain. He was like their top scorer or something. So maybe he is going to play higher up the pitch. Maybe he's going to become a midfielder. Who knows? Who knows? It's Pep. Anything.
Yeah, you never know with Pep. Yeah, man, this guy needs to leave and retire. That's what Pep needs to do.
No, he doesn't. He needs to stay for
it. We've had enough success. What more do you want? A treble?
What do you mean? You've had enough success. Why do you want success?
But we ain't had it in so long. It's been 10 years.
You used it up. You used up all your success.
Whatever, man. Yeah. Whatever. Haldane says, the real question is flawless. Where do we actually want to go? Because we can't win no league with half of these players. You know what's crazy, Haldane? About this. Remember when I said, and you'll know this, and other regulars, when I said if we sign Mount, that I'm signing out for the season. And now look at everybody game week 2 signing out from the season. Notice that. So yeah, in regards to where we want to go, I said our ceiling is last season. We'll do no better than finish third and win a cup. That's the best we can do this season. And I said that from the jump. And again, it's more so about transfers. You get certain incomings, you get outgoings. That can change. Same with any other team as well. Incomings and outgoings is key because it can change the whole makeup of your team. You see with Chelsea, with signing Caicedo and Lavia, all of a sudden their midfield is now sorted.
Yeah.
Just like that. Now they still have problems, I think, in the forward areas of scoring goals, but they're sorted. All it takes is a couple players for Manchester United and your 11 changes. Because bear in mind, people, let's not forget, this happened very similar actually at the start of last season. We lost to Brighton, we lost to Brentford, and then I think we signed Casemiro and Anthony after those. And then we beat Liverpool, and then we beat Arsenal, and then kicked on from there type of thing. So that's how I look at it. I don't worry too, like, in terms of where we're going with these players. We know what these players are. Not very good. I didn't take me these 2 games for me to go, oh shit, like, these players are just not good. Including Mason Mount, even though he's just got here. Big up to Victor, who says, this sounds like me last season, lol, and Flawless was laughing at me. See how karma works, people. Hey, football karma spins the block. That's why I laugh loud when it's my turn to laugh, because I know it's going to get me. I was like, I may enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? While I've got the gun, I may enjoy shooting. And then when I ain't got the gun and I get shot at, it is what it is. Like, you just gotta take the shots. That's what it is. Ed says, Flawless, after that L, you think we're gonna panic and now go and overpay for a 6 just like we did last season? Did we overpay for Cass? I wouldn't say we overpaid for Cass, but yes, overpay. Go get new players. I don't care how much it costs. It's not my money. Go get new players. So if we have to go and sign Amrabat or somebody else, I'm with it. Like, we have no choice. Look at what we've got. We are not in a position of power. Look at our midfield. The only midfielder I think that's good enough to start for us week in, week out for where we want to go is Casemiro. Ericsson's a squad player. Bruno's a squad player. Mount is nowhere near good enough. Scott McTominay is nowhere near good enough. Kobe Maino's injured, but he's a youngster, so I'm not really going to put too much, like, pressure on him in his first full season. But yeah, we just suck. And that's what it is, people. Like, and we knew this. That's why I don't get the outrage. This is why people are like, oh, why don't you react? I'd react more emotionally if I actually thought we was a good team and then we performed poorly. Average team performs average and people lose their minds. It's like Jan telling me City are probably going to win the league. You know what I'm saying? Or United are not going to win the Champions League. It's like, yeah. We know this. You don't have to, there's no deep dive on that. There doesn't have to be any major conversation on that. Well, again, I said it before, and I said this, I keep saying this, but I said this at the start of the season beforehand. Manchester United fans are in for a rude awakening because we're overrating this team. Because we hadn't seen the team in a while. We'd got new signings, and it's that Newcastle smell. And people were talking about how we looked in preseason, and blah, blah, blah. And look at that, 2 weeks in, 14 days in. Shit, ain't even 14 days because we played Monday. But yeah, 2 weeks in, 2 game weeks in. And look where we're at. And people act shocked. Oh, Mason Mount performed. Someone said, what someone asked earlier, Mason Mount doesn't look good. That's how Mason Mount looks when he plays for Chelsea the vast majority of the time. That's how he looks. We've watched him. That's what didn't make no sense to me. If you put him, he was just in North London today. Put him in West London in a blue shirt and it's the same shit. What's the difference? Somebody in the chat tell me. He was in North London today. Go, you know what I'm saying, drive half an hour to West London or however long it takes and put him in a blue shirt and put him on a football pitch and notice the difference. There's no difference from last season. Yeah, but hey, we moving it. You know what I'm saying? Trust about the gaffer. I don't know what I'm talking about. These players are going to make it work. Sure. Oh, when I said we was panicking and overpaying for a player, I was comparing it to Anthony. We don't have a choice. Because Anthony, people forget, helped out. As much as we like criticizing him now, rightfully so criticizing him now, he helped at that point. Because I don't think people forget where we was at after we lost them 2 games. People talk about, we going to finish top 10. It's Ten Hag the wrong choice. And then he switched it around and we finished 3rd, won the league, 2nd best home record, reached the FA Cup final. Actually had a good season where it's like, and I enjoyed it. When people say, why did you enjoy the Carabao Cup so much? I know shit like this is just around the corner at any given moment. That's why. Look where we're at now. Quick. From the highs of last season to just, now we're just in the ditch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just sucks. Like, we just suck, people.
Let's say it.
We just suck like we do. Like, I don't know what to tell you, Ed, man. I ain't got no I ain't got no answers for you like that. Big up to Broken Memories, says big up yourself, Flawless. Very well spoken. One of the United fans I like to listen to. Glad to see your channel growing, bro. And he said MCFC, okay. Hey, big up, man. Love for the kind words. Appreciate it. And it's good to see City fans in the chat as well, man. I genuinely mean that. This shows for you lot to pull up and celebrate and all them things there. But nah, I appreciate the kind words, man. That even though we're rival fans, that you appreciate the content. And yeah, the channel is growing. So thank you, man. Very much so. People are really starting to question Ten Hag. It's only been 2 games playing Mount, and Anthony can cost him his job. You live by your decisions, die by your decisions. That's what it is. You sign players and they work out, and you win games, you get praise. You sign players and they don't work out, and you lose games, you get criticized, and then your job's on the line. If he continues to play like this, yes, he will get sacked because we'll lose more games than we win with Bruno and Mount in midfield. You got to bite the bullet and just say you was wrong. You just got to bite the bullet. Terry shout out to Football Terrorist. Terry tweeted it, and he's put it in great words. And he was like, he doesn't get the Mount signing at all. It's such a bad deal. It feels like all our hard work's been undone. That's what it feels like. That's exactly what it feels like. Like we was about to take off, and then somebody just put extra baggage on the plane, and it's Mason Mount, and now we can't take off. That's what it's like. That's just fucking awful. And people back this shit. That's the craziest part. And y'all just loving this right now. Innit? See? You just calm. No, she probably going to win a league and another other trophy as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you lot continue to get your questions in. Please keep them United. Manchester United or City related as well. Let's see what else you lot are saying. I didn't see the red card with Shabazz, so I can't really talk on it. I didn't see the Liverpool-Bournemouth game. I didn't. Let's see. Mullier said, this is Mount Standard. Minerals, we told you. Yeah, minerals this, minerals that. Man said Mount's performing at his level. Yeah. Is it Khalil? Who says, today it was not just the players, stop it. The manager has to take blame when he sees teams like Brighton playing good football with players who don't cost as much. Again, you missed the start of this because I did say I put the majority of the blame on today on the manager. I said this before today if he plays the same team and we lose. Well, you're new. I mean, you're not new here. You just joined the stream, so fair enough. But yeah, it's on both. But it's more so on the manager. Because, yeah, awful. Getting love in the chat as well. Daniel says, Yam with a love heart. I'll let you respond to this. Your fan mail.
Big up, Daniel.
Flawless, by the way, what was your view on the handball? Oh, it was handball. 100%.
Yeah, that was handball.
It was handball. It was handball.
That was clear and obvious.
It was handball. It was handball.
Yeah, but the thing is, they change the rules every second, so you don't even know.
Yeah, you don't fuck
Between the first half and the second half, the rules change, so you just don't know.
Ed says, Jan, do you think Calvin Phillips gets sold this summer? Feels like the links have cooled down in the last few days. That's a good question, actually.
I actually feel a bit sorry for Phillips because I feel like everyone's always trying to sell him. He's come in, obviously, with expectations to kind of be... We wanted to be able to rotate Rodri out because he's just playing ridiculous amounts of games. Mm-hmm. And I think with Rodri's role as well, it's not a position where you can get away with playing all them games. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's kind of a striker where he can kind of just chill until the ball comes to him. You know, he's constantly running. Calvin Phillips, when he has come in, it's been a big drop off. Like, you can tell there's a big difference between, and I think it's partly because of how good Rodri is that makes it worse for him. I think if it was any other DM in the league and then he came in, he wouldn't look as bad. But just because Rodri is so good, everything goes through Rodri. He controls the game, and Calvin Phillips has been struggling with that a lot. Like, I think the Leicester game last season, you know, I think we were 2-0 up, 3-0 up. Yeah, 3-0 up. And Pep brought Calvin Phillips on, and it could have been 3-3. Like, it was one of them. Like, there wasn't even that long left. And it was like, that's when I was like, oh, like, I like him. Like, he's a really, really nice guy. And stuff. And he doesn't want to leave. He's living the dream. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, he does need to step up because it's kind of like City aren't a team that are going to keep him on for years and years and years if he's just not up to standard. Like, he will eventually have to leave. So, yeah, I hope for his sake he can do a Rodri, because Rodri was terrible. If you remember Rodri's first season, he was really awful. People were saying, get rid of him, what have we bought? Everyone was saying Pep should have gone for Partey instead. Like, there was so much going on at that time. So, yeah, I'm hoping can do it, but he just doesn't look there anywhere close to being there yet. So we'll just have to see. I don't think we'll sell him yet. The thing that maybe potentially could happen in the future is we go for a player.
Sorry, this made me laugh. Go on, carry on.
No. Like, it just means, like, I've heard that he's a nice guy.
Yeah, it means it ain't nothing to do with his football. Because if you heard Roger was a nice guy, you talk about his football first and then be like, yeah, he's a nice guy too, but go on, carry on. Yeah, but you wax lyrical about him on the football pitch. It's okay, Jan. We forgive you. Carry on.
To be honest, I haven't seen that much of Calvin Phillips since he's come because he doesn't really play. And when he does play, he doesn't look great. So it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Fairs.
I hope he does sort it out, though. I hope he does, because really, my idea would have been to keep Lavia and have Rodri, but we didn't know how good Lavia was going to be at the time, so, and obviously didn't want to stay and get loaned out and keep coming back and forth, so we were probably right to sell him, but I think looking at it and now in hindsight, Lavia was probably ready earlier, as a backup than. Yeah. But I mean, he wouldn't want to be a backup, so it's a hard situation. It's hard. I think Rodri's probably the worst person to be behind if you play the same position.
Yeah, because he don't get injured and he's always he don't get injured. He's always available and he's a consistent level to the point where he's not gonna get dropped. I hear that.
Yeah.
No, first. I hope everyone who's tapped in, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you continue to get your questions in before we close out. And the show is not, this show's stopping, but the Sarcasm City TV show will be going on, because straight after this live stream will be the Manchester United Chelsea Spurs show. So Man United, Ballers at the Bridge, talking that Tottenham talk, people. So we're going back to back, people, like Jordan 96, 97. So don't go anywhere. Roadman, big up to you. Says top 5 ain't looking good for you, man. Flawless. Top 5? We ain't finishing top 5 with this month. Nah. I did my predictions. Make sure you check out the Back Again podcast. I had a 6. Bear in mind, beforehand, I was talking about, we'll finish there, and then, 6. That's where I had us. And who did I have to that? Yeah, I think I had us ahead of Spurs, and I wouldn't argue for 6. If someone said 7 for a goal, I hear it. I'm even arguing you down. We don't score enough goals for me to be like, we definitely gonna finish in the top 6 or top 5 or top 4. Hey, if he gets rid of these players, I'll take the hit, man. Can't hell. So bad. Yeah, Victor, I'll send you the link. Let's see. Well, I'll show you. And Ed, of course, he's a nice guy, flawless. We know what that means. That's why man put the laughing emojis. He knows what time it is. 110%. Ed says this. Do you think you replace Calvin Phillips?
Who do you even replace him with? The problem that
telling me Pep can't go find you. Pep's got someone he knows.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, like, I mean, I don't know. I think they'll give him some time, and if he's still struggling in like a year,
right, okay,
then I think they'll give him time, just because it's hard for him as well, because a lot of players, they need consistent games to get to their best version of themselves. Kind of like Foden. Foden's in and out sometimes. And then he doesn't have the best game, and then people start saying, is Foden really that good? And then he plays 2 in a row and you see what you see tonight. So I think players do need that consistent game, like 3 games in a row at least, to like kind of get to the best form. And he's not had that. He's coming on for 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 10 minutes there. He's not, and that's if he even comes on. So he'd need like a consistent run of games. But the problem is, if Rodri's available, there's no way you drop Rodri. So it's a bit of a lose-lose for him, to be fair. I think any other player, any other member of the squad, really, you've got a chance. But I just think that he's the one player you're not dropping.
Oh, that's fair. That's very, very fair.
Even Edison's more likely to get dropped than him. Do you know what I mean?
Well, for Scott Carson, yeah?
No, for
Oh, it's Ortega, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
He's good, Ortega, actually. He might leave if they buy him, you know.
Jeez. Eddie says, I'm new here, by the way. Just wanted to say, great show. Really been enjoying this. Hey,
that's nice.
Big up. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Taguna ER says, Mark brings you down 3 places. Not just him, but he plays his role. Because if he took us to the top of the league, we'd be crediting him. So if the fact that it's looking like he's taking us further down the league, you have received that criticism, my guy. Yes, Warrior J. Didn't Lewis say something when it's United might not finish top 4? Oh yeah, you lot see me go through it. You lot see me go through the realization on the stream. Like, you see me deep contemplating football in life. To the point where Lewis went, Flawless is going through it right now. He was on the stream with Monts and he was talking about Caicedo and Lavia. And then that deep Chelsea's team. Looked at Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle, and I thought, shit, we might not even finish top 5. So, yeah, we move. Long old season, Manchester United fans. Strapping, man. Strapping. Then it says, question to Jan, how do you think City will manage without KDB?
Obviously one of our key players, so we're going to struggle a little bit. But I do think I'd rather if he has to be out for any part of the season, I'd rather it's now than sort of the back end, because that's when he really steps up for us. Yeah, it's not ideal. He's had the surgery that he needed, so that's good. So yeah, hopefully he'll be back before we know it. But yeah, I'd rather lose him now because, like you say, even if you lose a game in the league at this stage of the season, it doesn't really matter too much. Obviously, the cups you get knocked out, but the Champions League it's group stages, and so there's quite a lot of leeway at the start of the season, in terms of results. So yeah, as long as he's back for the back end of the season, I think we'll be all right.
There you go. Must be nice to, with De Bruyne being out. And
yeah, but we do need another midfielder there, to be fair. He's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's first. Taguna Yard says, at least you didn't get Havertz. Wait until you see the Arsenal meltdowns. Oh, yeah, I will be there. I've already told troops. I will be there. I'll be there watching his fan cams, 110%, when we get to the Havertz man. And it will happen. It will happen. So Dennis says, flawless football can be stressful at times, my G. Sometimes a woman can save you from the stress. The stress of football and life. Oh, absolutely. Without doubt. That is facts. You think after Manchester United results, I've just not went and got a hug off my woman just because? You know what I'm saying? 100%. Some of our shocking results towards the back end of the season just gone. And when we got packed by Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? Are you laughing for real? That's when I got a hug. We got packed by Liverpool. When we conceded, now I cried. When we conceded the last minute winner to Arsenal. Who else? The Sevilla game. Oh yeah. You right, Dennis. That's the method. That's the method. I'm telling you right now. Trust me. For real. Hey Jan, I heard you need you're a joker, you Victor. I ain't even reading that out. Comedian.
Yeah, go on. What did he say?
This guy said, "Hey Jan, I heard you need a midfielder. Can I offer you Conor Gallagher?" He's talking about Conor Gallagher.
Oh, good lord.
Exactly. That's what I was going to save you from yourself.
Yeah, no. We're good, thanks.
There you go.
I'd rather play myself.
There you go. Do you think City will have a drop-off when Pep leaves, just like United when Sir Alex did?
I think Pep's the best manager in the world, so I think we are going to have to downgrade. The only thing I would say about City, which is good, is that the club is run very well. So they normally have a plan. So I don't think they're just going to let Pep leave and be like, we don't know what's going to happen next. They'll have someone lined up. They also have a specific style of play. I know it's Pep's style of play, but the whole club play the same way. So even the women, the kids, everyone plays the same way. So I think whoever comes in is going to be someone that's like similar to Pep. And then I think that person will be able to just kind of carry on where he left off. But they're going to need their own players. Everyone has their own style. So, yeah, it'll be a bit of a rebuild. But I think we'll be okay because I think the club's ran quite well. Like, they will give the manager what they need within reason. And then if we are struggling, Pep said that he'd come back if we're struggling, innit?
Oh, how nice of him. Well, sweetheart.
So cute, innit?
Eddie says that's a great thought though. Who do you think can replace Pep? I know it's not something you want to think about, but who do you reckon could come in and do a job?
Originally, I used to say either Luis Enrique because I think it's an easier transition, or Ten Hag. But I think Ten Hag, I didn't know too much about him at the time. But obviously he's managed with Pep before, so it's kind of easier. I don't know. Obviously, people are talking about in the future maybe like a Vincent Kompany or something, but I wouldn't want him to come in prematurely. And then, I mean, Pep did at Barcelona and it paid off, but I wouldn't want Kompany to come in and then we do badly and then everyone's like treating him like Chelsea fans with Lampard. So, yeah, I don't really want that. I'd rather wait until he's successful and then if he wants to come and manage us then he can. But yeah, it's going to be pretty impossible to replace Pep because Pep's just such a genius and his attention to detail is something else. So, be interesting.
It will be very interesting. Let's just hopefully it happens sooner
Hopefully
rather
it
than
just
later.
never stays. It just stays forever.
Okay. Well, yeah, people, we're at how many likes we on before we close out? 75 likes. 5 more. Get us up to 80 likes. People, like, check. Whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back, let's bump up the likes. Make sure you do so. Subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV. Get your final few questions in. Please keep them Manchester United or Manchester City related. And don't forget this show and all the other shows on the channel. So all the shows on the YouTube channel, all the shows on the Twitch, apart from fan calling shows, watch-alongs and pro clubs, are available on audio-only platforms, people. SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV, and this show and all the other shows will pop up. So SoundCloud, hit us a follow. Any Android users, if you're on Spotify, make sure you follow us on 5 stars on Spotify. Same with iTunes as well. Make sure you 5-star us, all you iPhone users, 5-star us and write us a review. So big up to everyone listening on all audio platforms. It's Sarcasm City TV across all of them. I'll drop the links in the chat in a second as well. This did make me laugh as well. Warrior J says, Jan, did you see Pep arguing with a fan during the game? I don't know if you heard about that. Thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, I saw it. I think the guy was asking Pep to make subs or telling Pep to make subs, and it was basically like, if you think you can do my job, go sit and do it. Which is,
yeah.
I know, I'd be like, okay.
You would have said, yeah, innit?
Yeah, I used to sit near where that guy sits, to be fair. That's where I sit right now, Pep. But he never argued with me. I'm always cussing the players out. I remember one time Vincent Kompany sat in front of me and I thought, for fuck's sake, I can't even cuss out the players because he's right there. So I had to be nice for the whole game.
Fuck all that. You should still cuss them out. Should have let him know.
Oh my God, I've never cussed them out like that Champions League final. Oh my God, I was cussing for the whole time until Rodri scored and then I let him off.
Yeah.
And then I was cussing them again until the full-time whistle. Oh my God.
That's first. Then it says, question to Flawless, do you think you guys playing in the Champions League can affect your season due to your lack of squad depth? Don't matter. To be honest, Dennis, whether we're in the Champions League or not in the Champions League, we suck. Currently constructed right now. Makes no difference whatsoever. We could be in the Champions League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Europa League, the Carabao Cup, the Saudi League, La Ligue. It don't matter what Copa del Rey, the Pokal Cup, the Coupe de France. We could be in all those competitions. We're just going to be bad regardless, whether we're in 1 or we're in 10. We just have issues outside of a lack of squad depth. We don't have a first 11. Never mind squad depth. We barely have a first 11 with everybody fit. Barely. And that's with everybody fit. Like 1 or 2 injuries, and you see the deficiencies in our team, which are there glaring. But yeah, and anything else you want to add before we do indeed close out in regards to Manchester City, so we
Yeah.
not spoke about, or anything you want to say to the people then?
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's always a pleasure. Make sure you subscribe, like it if you haven't already. And yeah, all that good stuff.
Yes, make sure you do so. This show will be back whenever Yan's available, people. That's when you get the United City show, Man Them United podcast, get them City podcast. So we'll do our best to bring you this show on a regular basis. In particular, you City fans as well. See, me, sure, as much as I'm a United fan, I show love to everybody. Literally, the big six is covered on this channel. There's a show. Each one of your clubs has a show. So yeah, I don't want to hear no complaints. But I have started the live stream for the Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show, Man Them United podcast. Ballers at the Bridge, talking that Tottenham talk. Myself, Surfer, and Jazz will be over there. Obviously, mainly discussing United losing to Spurs, answering any questions in regards to Chelsea as well. Tamacho, yeah, I did see. If I missed your comments, I apologize because the comment section was going crazy. That's what it is. So if I missed your comment, I apologize. That's all I can say. But love to everyone that's locked in. Like I said, we'll be back whenever Jan's available. But you'll get it Friday night, Saturday nights, people. But make sure, don't go anywhere. As soon as this live stream ends, it's going to send you straight to the Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show. But make sure before you leave out here, you hit the like button and subscribe. But this has been the Manchester United, Manchester City show. Man Them United podcast meets the Them City podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up and see you lot in 2 minutes.